Battlefield has always walked a line, somewhere between realism and fun. But when it comes to atmosphere, sound, and immersion, details matter. In Battlefield 6, players have noticed something strange in all Leak's gameplays.
We need defensive support and marked objectives.
Large enemy Vic!
Our forces are attacking objective Charlie.
All our objectives are under enemy attack.
Multiplayer voice lines are split nearly 50-50 between male and female characters. That may seem fair to some at first glance, but is it really fair and authentic? For many, this is the reason why they turn off the game, like in the case of Battlefield 5, for example. Let's look at the numbers. As of 2025, women make up about 17% of active duty U.S. military, but in direct combat roles, infantry, armor, artillery, that number drops to under 1%. Even the most progressive armies like Canada or NATO nations reflect similar ratios. So why are we hearing female voices in half of all combat dialogue? This isn't about excluding anyone. It's about giving players the option to match what they hear with what's real, especially in a game known for semi-authentic warfare. Voice choice isn't new. Earlier Battlefield titles let players switch narrator voices or had different audio by faction. So why not now? We respect creative freedom. We respect all who serve, men and women. But we also believe immersion matters. So we're asking EA, DICE, EA Studios, give us a voice toggle. Let players choose the voice to listen only male or female or both of them. That way, everyone wins. Battlefield has always been about chaos, strategy, and feeling like you're there. Let's keep it that way. Sign the petition. Frequently asked questions and disclaimer. Question 1. So you just hate women, right? No, this is not about hating women. It's about authentic representation of military reality and immersive gameplay. Women play important roles in society and the military, but having a 50-50 gender mix of voices in Battlefield is not realistic and breaks immersion. Question 2. Why does accuracy only matter for excluding women, but not for all the other arcade stuff in Battlefield? You can fly a jet and jump out to shoot a rocket. Battlefield has always tried to balance fun and realism. Some game mechanics are arcade-like for gameplay reasons, but visual and audio immersion, like the voices you hear, should reflect real military proportions. It's about staying true to the series' semi-authentic roots. Question 3. Are you really this triggered by female voices in a game? Don't you have bigger problems? People are allowed to care about the games they play and how authentic they feel. If you don't care, that's fine, but some of us do, and we want the option to choose. Question 4. Women have been in the military for decades now, so what the... Yes, but look at the numbers. As of 2025, women are about 17.7% of active duty U.S. military, but in frontline infantry roles, it's less than 1%. Battlefield is supposed to depict large-scale warfare, not a gender-equal fantasy. Question 5. It's a video game, not a documentary. Who cares? Just mute if you don't like it. Battlefield is famous for its immersive atmosphere. Players care about details, graphics, sound, equipment. Voice distribution that doesn't match reality kills that immersion for many. At least give us the option to choose voice gender, like in Battlefield 1 announcer's voice, the in-game narrator for operations mode, from female to male, depending on the faction or based on your audio settings. Question 6. If you want realism, why not ask for period-accurate slurs, or child soldiers, or amputees? There's a difference between representing military proportions and crossing ethical or moral lines. No one is asking for war crimes or offensive content, just more realistic voice representation. Question 7. You're just mad about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and woke culture. Do you admit it? I don't want forced diversity for the sake of ticking boxes, especially when it doesn't reflect reality. This is about accuracy, not ideology. Question 8. My captain was a woman and she could kick your ass. Do you know that? That's great and much respect to her. But statistically, exceptions don't prove the rule. Battlefield should reflect actual military makeup, not rare cases. Question 9. Why you're so obsessed with realism? No one is asking for stereotypes or mocking. Battlefield 2042 was heavily criticized for its unrealistic, cartoonish world, cringy lines, and lack of immersion. That's why many of us want to return to the level of Battlefield 3, where realism actually mattered. The scenes with helicopters, aircraft carrier launches, and similar moments from Battlefield 3 remain the most popular to this day and have been repeatedly praised in reviews, even by real soldiers. Players are drawn to that genuine thrill and war immersion, not the hybrid mix of Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 4 that tries to be something else entirely. Question 10. Why do you care so much about the gender of a voice in a shooter game? Because immersion matters. For many, hearing unrealistic voice ratios constantly is distracting. If some people want 50-50, fine, but others want a setting for more authentic proportions. Question 11. Isn't this just a small group of angry nerds who nobody takes seriously? The Battlefield community is diverse, like in other games. Many longtime players left the series when it stopped feeling authentic. Just because it's not your priority doesn't mean no one else cares. Question 12. But the war in Battlefield 6 is fictional. Why can't the armies be 50% women? Fictional setting or not, Battlefield has always been inspired by real conflicts, equipment, and militaries. People expect a certain level of believability. Making it 50-50 for representation feels forced and out of place for this franchise. Question 13. You know nothing about real war. Have you even served? You don't need to have served to value realism or research facts. Many of us follow military stats and history and just want the game to respect reality. Question 14. Women will be on the front lines in a World War III scenario, so your point is moot. Even in Ukraine, country at war, the percentage of women in frontline combat is very low. Total mobilization might raise the number, but not to parity. Battlefield should reflect actual, not hypothetical, ratios. The same was in the war in Vietnam and Korea. Question 15. Why do you want to erase women from the game? No one wants to erase anyone. Just asking for the option to match reality or to choose the voice gender as in previous games. Both men and women deserve respect, but in realistic proportions. Question 16. Isn't this just misogyny with extra steps? No, it's about authenticity. It's not about hate, it's about keeping the spirit of Battlefield as a franchise built on semi-authentic warfare. Question 17. Shouldn't the devs just do what they want? It's their creative vision. Developers can do what they want, but feedback from the player base matters, especially in a franchise with a long tradition of realism. Giving players options satisfies everyone. The series is released worldwide in various languages. Therefore, if creators respect different communities in countries from the West to the East, they should consider other perspectives, not just the dominant one for example, like that one from the United States. Question 18. Report for hate speech and be done with this trash, folks. If asking for realism in a military game is hate speech, then discussion is impossible. Disagreeing with game design isn't the same as spreading hate. Idea of tolerance also means that you should be tolerant to others' opinions. If you don't like this idea, just move on. So we say again, go to chng.org and sign the petition. Even if you think it doesn't matter to you, give others the choice. After all, we all want the Battlefield series to be the best it can be and to keep us entertained for as long as possible. Like this video and share it with your friends. Thanks, and see you in the Battlefield.